Hello, this will be short, sweet, straight to the point. Just been on the phone to Abid. Slowly becoming a very, very, very close friend of mine. I've told you can be really close friends with people without actually meeting them in person. When you have that connection, that spiritual connection. I have it with Abid. Much love to you, brother. So I'm going to go over this Arsenal game. Show you how coded it all is. So Phil Mitchell's in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Is he still in EastEnders? He's saying, we know it's rigged. You tell us daily. Tell us something we don't know. Okay. Tell you something that you don't know. Right now, I'm wearing navy blue and purple socks. There's something you didn't know. Hope you enjoyed that. And say hi to Peggy and Grant for me. Much love, 6079 Smith. How you doing, baby? One of the best in the game. I want to thank Chuck again. What a live stream that was. What knowledge shared by Chuck. And I love when Chuck comes on because then I add to what he finds. We've got a nice partnership, to be honest with you. We're like Ronaldo and Romario without demons. So it's telling me right now, YouTube, that I have one in the live, which just went down from 6 to 1. I don't know what happened there. Did everyone's internet connection go out? Just outrageous stuff. So Arsenal are back top of the league. And I know that they've played 2 games more, but they're back top of the league after they just beat Chelsea 3-1. I'm going to tell you why I really liked Arsenal to win. And guys, how's Frank Lampard continually getting jobs? It's a joke, to be honest with you, how he continues to get jobs. Why? Because of the code, because of his bloodline, because of the demonic connections with him. So check this out. I'm here, mate. God bless you, Adam. Thank you for the brilliant code today, as always. Thank you, Abid. Much love to you, mate. You're a blessing to me. I appreciate you tons. Thank you very much. So let's break it down, shall we? This 3-1 game. As soon as it went 3-1, I liked it to finish 3-1. I'll get to that later. Again, just seeing the code play out in play. Arsenal versus Chelsea. So this London derby. We know the royal family reside in London, Buckingham Palace. So Arteta, Mr. Lego Head, was the first Premier League coach to test positive for coronavirus. And coronavirus was declared a global pandemic on March the 11th. Okay, 3 times 11 is 33. Arsenal just drew 3-3 with the Saints. Play at St. Mary's. Elizabeth's middle name was Mary. It's all coded. Remember when Man City got 100 points, the Centurions? Gabriel Jesus, who's now at Arsenal, who scored, was the player who allowed that to happen, scoring against Southampton at St. Mary's. So 311 is the 64th prime number, a massive connection there. That's why Liverpool are now 6-4 in European Cup finals when they lost to Real Madrid. It's a really big number. I said Arsenal can stay on 6 draws and 4 losses in the league in their last game before Charles is coronated. Coronated has the word corona in it. Coronated breaks down to energy and crown. It's crown energy. So ion means energy. Corona means crown. So it's just energy harvesting, the coronation. So Lampard was hired by Chelsea this year on the 6th of April, date that can be written 6-4. All right. And obviously, Arsenal stayed on 6 draws and 4 losses in the league. I believe Chelsea are having a shocker this season, as London Bridge will soon fall down in England in regards to the economy, as London is the financial capital of the world, and soon physical cash will disappear. Let me get this. Hey, Guapa.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm great. I just came to the answer.
Okay. Was work okay?
Yeah. Just all right.
Okay, good stuff. I'm just doing a live stream. I've got a live stream going on. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, no worries. I had some quiche. Have you had quiche before?
Quiche.
Quiche.
Yeah.
Quiche.
How does it spell it?
Quiche. It's like flan. No?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I think I
I
did.
had that with a salad. It was pretty good. What are you doing later?
I don't know. You want to do something? Can you do something?
Yeah. Can I give you a call? What's that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, give me a call when you finish.
Okay, perfect. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Sorry, guys, that was my imaginary girlfriend. My bad. Let me go back to this. So I said, I believe Chelsea are having a shocker as London Bridge will soon fall down in England in regards to economy, as London is the financial capital of the world and soon physical cash will disappear. That's why that Cashman killed the 9-year-old Olivia. And I believe it's why Sterling, like pound sterling, signed for Chelsea. I've said this over and over and over again that Raheem Sterling's an awful footballer. Before I even became the illusion and understood the code, I used to say Raheem Sterling is awful. And then people just always told me, well, he scores goals. Like, he plays for Man City in England. He can't be awful. He is an awful footballer. Watch, pay attention. Showing his true colours at Chelsea now, isn't he? Queen died on 8/9, which is the date Potter, who was Chelsea's coach at the beginning of the season, was hired by Chelsea. 89 is the 24th prime. Arsenal can get their 24th season win in the league. They did. 12th versus 2nd on the 122nd day of the year. Not a coincidence, is it, guys? Especially when 12 times 2 is 24. Satanic in Gematria gets you 122. Kobe's 666 game was on 122 in a game where the Lakers got 122 points. He wore number 24. Arsenal get the 24th league win this season. All coded, everything's connected. I show you every single day. For next to nothing on my website as well. $10 is absolutely nothing for what I share, for what I give you, to be honest with you. Being very generous, not upping the price, because I care about getting the knowledge out. Kobe was born in 78, and Arsenal can advance to 78 points in the league and stay on 7 draws and 8 losses in all competitions. 78 hit yesterday in my NBA code, which was literal perfection with Denver. How did it hit? Because the Nuggets became 39-7 at home, which is the 78th prime. The game was all about Jokic and Kobe. Jokic got Denver's 78th point in that game. Do you think they're coding it to that point? Do you think man's coding it to the point of Jokic getting the 78th point? No. I said, look for number 9 and 11, Gabriel Jesus and Martinelli, to have an impact, and Jesus scored. Queen died 911 days after coronavirus was declared a global pandemic. Revelation 9:11. And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue hath his name Apollyon. Told you Charles's father was born in Greece, Philip. Now, this next bit shows once again just how connected I am to the code. Quite frankly, Buenas tardes, Sebastian, ¿cómo estás? How ridiculously connected I am to the code. Today, I got to 10.3K thousand on YouTube. My Twitter has 10.3K people following me. So what happens today when I have those numbers? Arteta can get his 103rd career win. Told you I have 10.3 thousand subscribers on YouTube and 10.3 thousand followers on Twitter. The day Arteta gets his 103rd career win, he stayed on 27 draws. 103 is the 27th prime. Arteta got his 73rd Premier League win. Queen equals 73, and she was married for 73 years. Tom Brady made his NFL debut on 10-3, 103, the year of 9/11, and he won his first Super Bowl in the Super Bowl after 9/11, won his last Super Bowl on 2-7, and he retired after the end of the 103rd NFL season. 7-3 in Super Bowls, ladies and gentlemen. Like I called before the season began that he would beat the Chiefs in the final at monumentally huge odds. I said the Bucs would beat the Chiefs before that season began, the season of Super Bowl 55. All right. Phil Mitchell, have you disappeared? You got nothing to say, baby? The game was a span of 317 days after Lampard's birthday, the 66 prime. The teams last met on 11-6. 11 times 6 is 66. Chelsea stayed on 66 wins versus Arsenal. Charles equals 66. The Book of Revelations, the 66th book of the Bible, and the final book. Number of the Beast equals 66. England won their World Cup in 66. They did it in London where this game took place. This game was on 5-2, 5 weeks and 2 days after Arteta's birthday. Queen Elizabeth became the Queen in 52. Charles will be coronated on a day leaving 239 days left in the year, the 52nd prime. Kobe retired 5-2 in NBA Finals. Arsenal can pick up 3 points exactly 52 days after the 3-year anniversary of coronavirus being declared a global pandemic. I told you Arteta was the first Premier League coach to test positive, like that means anything, for coronavirus. Arsenal can stay on 4 Premier League losses 4 days before Charles will be coronated. Why do you think there was 4 goals scored in the game? Elizabeth had 4 kids. The United Kingdom is made up of 4 countries. Her jubilee lasted 4 days, which is 96 hours, and she died at 96, which I predicted 2 years before that she would die at 96, right before the World Cup. She did. All right. Queen Elizabeth will be 97 now, and Arsenal can advance to 97 points in all competitions. 97 is the 25th prime. Today's date can be written the 2nd of May, 25. She became the Queen at age 25. All right. The 4th horseman can take out 25% of the earth. 4th horseman, 4 goals. The game's exactly 47 weeks before Arteta's birthday. Elizabeth and Philip got married in 47. Premier League season ends on Phil Foden's birthday, number 47. 47 is the 15th prime. Lampard can stay on 15 points this season in the Premier League with a loss. So, again, what more do I have to do? Adam, why don't you go to church? Because I don't believe you have to. I think nearly all the churches have been infiltrated. When I've gone to churches to speak to people about Revelation, they don't believe in it. I think a lot of people go to church to tick boxes. I think a lot of people go to church for connection, or they're being brought up to go to church and it's become part of the habit. I don't know if they have the Holy Spirit lit within them. I'm going to probably start going to a church, give it a go. It's funny, it's only open from 9 till 11 a.m., which you've just got to giggle at. Maybe it's a sign I have to go there. So Arsenal win. They win 3-1 in a game they scored after 31 minutes, in a game where the last goal scorer wore number 31. I put this all on my site. As soon as it went 3-1, it was plus 120 to stay there. If you just take the hints, I'm not going to, like Abid told me, it was like, Illusion, you do so much for everyone. You don't have to do in-play codes. They have to figure that out themselves. You've given them so many tools, you can't baby them. Part of what you do is to teach people. And I always say, as a teacher, you don't take the exam for the student. You prepare them for it. And yes, nearly all my codes, practically all of them, 90%, are pre-game. The other codes that I do about history and the world and war and biblical, they don't involve sport. You shouldn't be so obsessed over sport, and maybe I shouldn't be as well. I was obsessed by sports when I used to play them at a super high level and coach them and watch them and gamble on them and talk about them. I don't watch them anymore. I don't talk about them in the sense of a regular football fan. All right. I'm not a fan of any of these teams or any of these players. So it is a process. But the fact is, it is right. I do too much work. I put too much out there and don't get enough credit. He can't believe I charge $10 for what I provide when there's guys who can't even code charging $50, $100 a month. And they can't even code. And they code 2 games a week. And they're wrong 50% of the time. But again, I'm trying to be nice, but it's like you've got to find that line between Adam and the illusion. The illusion is not Adam, technically. What I do is somewhat of a business as well as putting out all of this work. There's a fine line with it all. And I think I'm too nice on occasions. I take too much shit from people who don't have a clue. So he's told me to ignore them now. Like I said, first comment I get is a negative one from Phil Mitchell. We know it's all rigged. Tell us something we don't know. Not everybody knows that. And it's not rigged in the sense of man doing it. It's coded. I have to put rigged to get people to watch my videos. When you put in the word rigged, people watch. If I say the Premier League is coded, nobody cares. I have to say those words. So I have to be smart on occasions. But that is the bottom line. That's why I said it's a tough one because you want to get all this information out. But again, like a chef who has a passion for cooking, doesn't mean he just wants to cook for free for everybody or cook amazing food for next to nothing. When there's people giving you shit food for an expensive price, you know what I mean? So sorry for that rant, but it is true. Somebody says City are winning it. Okay, every chance that they win it. But why? Why do you say that? Because they're the best team in the world? Because they have Guardiola? Because they have 2 games in hand? Is there any substance to you saying City winning it other than being a fanboy? Do you have anything to show that? Like, Queen Elizabeth was coronated in 53. King Charles equals 53. If Man City win the league, they'll win it exactly 53 weeks after they last won it. Italy won the Euros for the first time in 53 years. They did that in England. I need something like that rather than saying, like people told me with the NBA, Illusion Bucks are winning it. They've got Giannis. The Bucks are winning it. They went out in the first round. I literally said to them in an email, I said, what do you have for the Bucks? It don't matter. They have Giannis and they've dominated this year. They lost 4-1 in the first round. What have you got for me? If you're going to send me things like that, give me something. I go, amazing finds. There's a guy who sends me his UFC stuff. I don't often code it. I don't like the idea of coding people fighting and people watching it and getting all excited, watching people punching each other in the face. I don't really want anything to do with UFC. He sends me nice finds. I go, okay, that's good. I'd probably go this way, or I'm not really sure. Oh, you have this gift and you're not sharing it with the world. You should be coding this, that, and the other. I'm like, who are you? You're sending me a code. You're lucky I'm even reading it. So everyone who's saying, can you look into that? Can you look into this, and this? 50 different people every day and getting upset when I don't do it. Why don't you do it yourself? Again, you can't ask the teacher to do your essay for you. All right? When I'm coaching kids, I can't coach 12-year-old kids and then my team's losing and say, substitution, ref, Illusion's coming on to bang 50 goals, because I could, obviously, against 12-year-olds. That's not how it works. So, allow me to pursue my purpose after being led astray too long with distraction like supporting a football team, despite its enjoyment to watch. It's now seen as something less desirable to watch. Bang on. Sin is tempting. Sin is enjoyable. If it wasn't, we wouldn't sin. It is somewhat enjoyable having a team and you support them and you have a bet on it and you're having a few beers with the lads and you're talking about it and you've got Fantasy Premier League going on. It's fun. I avoid it though. I prefer the knowledge aspect to it. All right. And revealing it all, that we live in a coded reality, that revelation numbers are hitting every single day. I'm going to do a revelation video tomorrow that's going to make your jaw drop. I've only shared it with a bead. Wait till you see this code. I ain't doing it today. After this, you just heard Kenya called me. And I was going to chill tonight, but why? When I can see a beautiful girl who makes me happy. I'll take her out and we'll have a drink. Adam, would we know about tactics and positions without mainstream football? No. No, again, 11 is such a big number. It's 11 versus 11. Remember, Remembrance Day is honoured on 11/11, November the 11th, honouring those who lost their life during the war. Anyone who signs up to the war, guys, you got to ask yourself what you're fighting for. I've talked about war. I go hard on it on my book and war veterans and how war veterans are treated. Okay? I talk about that. I haven't done anything on my book today, which is a little bit frustrating. But again, it's because I'm always doing something. And my phone always goes off relentlessly. Why does a lion care of the opinion of sheep? Just misdirected energy and stress on the adrenal glands. I agree with that. I'm trying my best every day to work on it, but I think it is easier said than done. The best way I could avoid anybody going at me is literally setting up a YouTube channel where, and I'm not going to do it, Setting up a YouTube channel where you have to pay to listen to me do lives, then you're not going to get people coming in like Phil Mitchell or the other people that say all the stuff. I know what you're saying. They're energy vampires, and they're either in denial or they're jealous of what I do. It's one of those two options because they watch my videos. Do you know what I mean? They're watching. So yeah, it is tough. It's hard to give advice to people when you've not been in that situation. Do you know what I mean? It's hard. It's hard to give advice to a soldier who's come back from Vietnam, who's suffering from PTSD when you've never been to war. It's hard to give advice to somebody who's been raped. All right? It's hard to give advice to people overcoming depression when you've never overcame depression. So that's the point that I'm making when it comes to advice. I like constructive feedback. You can speak from the heart. You can tell them what you feel, but I think a lot of people deep down have to figure it out for themselves. They have to figure things out for themselves. Sin in Spanish means without. Yep. It like means no, doesn't it? Like sin mostaza means no mustard. Sin catsup, no ketchup. Yeah, it does. Adam, oh, you already asked me that. Would people watch these footballs if they played in a park? No. And I've said this for years. People pay for the show. They pay for the show. You're paying for the big stadium. You're paying for the whole excited driving there or getting a coach down there and watching these elite footballers on make-believe wages. Then Sky Sports, and you see them off TV, and people worship people on TV. They're seeing them up close and personal. That, oh, I'm seeing the stars. No, if they played in a park and there were no money involved, would people go to watch the standard? I've told you, Premier League, it's nowhere near what you think it is. It's so slow. It's just keeping possession. No, they wouldn't. They're paying for the show, and there's something with these stadiums. So many of them are next to lakes or canals. Something with the water, guys. Something in that water. So I don't believe so. I would recommend a... Okay, thank you. I can't read that out on YouTube. Soccer mums would be the only ones watching, and they're soy milk men. Yeah, like, of course you... Like, when I coached in LA, I coached very talented footballers, girls and guys. You'd get maybe 30, 40 people watching. Pretty much parents. 30, 40, maybe 50. You go watch a university game in England. What do you get? Maybe 50 if you're lucky. Now go watch a Sunday League game. What do you get? Man and his dog, striker's brother, pisshead central midfielder's dad watching. Then when you start getting to semi-pro, the level I was at, people go again because there's stadiums, you can travel. All right, there's that pride when you're playing at a decent semi-pro level. But in general, people don't go watch football games, and they're not going. If you're watching this now, you're not going, guys, and don't kid yourself. You're not going to these games watching United, Liverpool, Madrid, Everton, Leeds, Newcastle, whatever your team is, because you think they're so amazing and you're blown away by the talent. You're not, are you? What, a sideways pass? Is that why you're going? Are you going because you're being programmed to go? Because your dad brought you up to support that team? Because it's in your DNA to do it? Are you going because you're blown away by the talent? Are you going because you've been programmed or socially engineered to do it? Ask yourself why you support the team that you support. Is it because you were born in that city? Is it because of your parents? Is it because you're a Glory supporter? Ask yourself why you care so much about players that you don't even know, that you've never met, that you've never talked to, that you never probably will meet. Ask yourself these questions. I did. That's why I don't watch it anymore. You have to ask these questions. Most people don't like asking questions because the education system, you're not designed to ask questions. You're designed to do as you're told and to absorb information. You're not designed to ask questions. Maybe a couple of schools. I know in Finland they allow it. Some private schools allow it. Public system, you don't ask questions. You keep your mouth shut. You do as you're told. You recite information. Adam, do you coach each position or tactics? Yeah, I can. When it comes to coaching, if you think I'm good at coding, I'm just as good at coaching. I love coaching. Like, I love the environment of it. I love making the kids better. I love the competition. I love to win. I love like in-play coding. I love watching a game in the first 20 minutes that I'm coaching and figuring out there and then, right, their number 9 is the strongest player. They're just giving it to him. Right, I need to double up on that number 9. All right, their fullback, number 3, is really weak. He's got no left foot. All right, let's target him. All right, I'm going to check you, Jamie. All right, it's not working here. I want you to shift with him. All right, you go left side this time. I want you, because you can cut in on that player. You target him. You're a lot stronger than him. You're faster. Utilize that against him. I would say, and I would love that. I'd be like, straight away, I'd be like, guy, and I'd say it out loud. It was a bit harsh sometimes how I was, because I did play mind games. I was like, guys, their keeper, nah, he's struggling. Their keeper's struggling, just shoot, go at him. And I could look in players' eyes, whatever the age group, and know if they were rattled or not. So, yeah, I love to coach. I can coach any position. I do privates with defenders, strikers. I've done goalkeeper clinics. I'm qualified to do that. I can coach all of it. If I didn't have this website, which I'm so grateful for, and if it disappears, I'll set up another one, because I know I've got people that support me. Whatever happens with this site, I've got people that are going to support me, that'll do anything for me because of what I've done for them. A lot of the time, unaware of what I've done for them. They tell me. So I've got impact. I have a global impact at this point, not a major one, but I've got people watching me in over 35 countries. So people are paying attention to what I have to say. So I ain't going to stop. Adam, are you like overdramatic Guardiola on the touchline? Yes. Yeah, my mates used to make fun out of me, but I've won. I would win all the time. So I could just say, yeah, look at the results. They give me banter. I would, okay. Have you seen Klopp? Have you seen Klopp when he's really animated and he's kicking every ball? He's animated. He's walking up and down touchline and that's me. From the first minute to the last, that's me 7-0 up. And I have a go at Guardiola for that, because it's the Premier League. If you're 4-0 up with a minute left. But I'm doing this where it's just who I am. Guardiola's, it's all staged. I was never like that. I was like, come on, all right, keep going. We keep a clean sheet. We keep a clean sheet. Keep the ball. If we were really destroying a team, I'd stop them scoring. I'd put like my weakest players and I say, guys, come and give them a chance. All right, but yeah, I kicked every ball. You should see when I play. It was funny in that final. We were winning 3-1 with about 15 minutes left in the final. And the goalkeeper, the other team, and a few other guys were just doing all of this. They were complaining about everything, this, that, and the other, because 2 of their players had to go off. They pulled muscles because they were trying to keep up with me, and they literally pulled their muscles. I ain't lying. If there's any student in the chat, you can back it up. They pulled the muscles trying to keep up with me. And they're young. I'm double their age. They were 17 or whatever, more than double their age. And they were doing all of this, and it was starting to piss me off. And I said to Javi, great footballer, one of the best in the school, who was on my team, I said, Javi, I'm pissed off now. So give me the ball. He went, what? I went, give me bottom score, and I'm pissed off now. All that, blah, blah, blah. I get animated. 30 seconds later, I got my hat trick, made it 4-1. And he ran over to me and went, geez, yeah, you were, wow. So when I'm rattled, same like when I code, when I'm rattled or if I do a live, I really focus and emphasize the point that I want to make. That's why sometimes it's good to be rattled on occasions. Also, what would you do for money? I know you're an excellent football player. Would you still pursue coaching? I have a coaching company, mate. I teach English. I turn down work all the time. I could be a life coach. I write books. I could walk back in a school and get double the money that I got last time. I have got a lot of gifts, and I know that. I think my biggest gift right now is this, in regards to the impact I'm having. Because coach privates, I can coach a couple of teams and have a big impact. But I'm not coaching 10,000 people, am I? Where I live. And I know the level of impact's different from one person to the next, but there's 10,000 people sub to me interested in what I'm doing. So whilst I have a voice, whilst I have a platform, whilst I have enough money to do this without having to go back to the matrix, which hopefully I don't have to, but I can always walk back to it. I've ensured that. I don't have to coach now. I don't have to teach. I do it because I love it and I'm smart and I know at any point the online stuff can go. My YouTube is that close to going. My website's riding on another person who I've invested my time and energy and love into. But that's the reality. When you put your faith in other people, it's a beautiful thing. It's a dangerous thing. You should put faith in yourself and in God, and everything else. Yeah, you can appreciate and respect people, but you can't necessarily trust everybody. The only one person I wholeheartedly trust is God. Sometimes I don't trust myself. You know what I mean? Because we're given to sin as human beings. Sorry, Adam, I'll try to ask better questions in future streams. I appreciate all your hard work. I've learned a lot from you and the Bible. No, it's I'll answer your question. So what you say, hypothetical question for you, bro. If you had found God at age 18 and acquired the knowledge you have now, how would you have spread the message of God without YouTube being around in that time? All right, so obviously I can't answer that with a clear answer, but I'll do my best. I would have approached it by telling my family and my friends. Then it would have depended on how people responded to it. I would have put together a couple of close people. If I would have found a few people that were on my page, I would have set up like, all right, guys, once a week, come round to my house. Let's talk about this stuff. I would then hope that that group would grow. And then before you know it, it could be a couple of hundred people doing it. And then they could spread the word. That's how I would have done it. Would I have gone out on the streets and done it? Probably not. Crown Jewels music group, guys, check him out. He's in the chat. Amazing music. Look at that 34 in the live, 9 likes. Jesus scored after 34 minutes. The 9th Fibonacci number. Number 9, like I said, he was going to score. Notice how number 34, Zaka, assisted Odegaard for the first 2 goals. 34 plus 8 is 42. How long the beast reigns for? Why don't you check how many goals Arsenal have conceded now? You'll see it's 42. So it's those hypothetical questions. I'm not judgmental towards people who ask them, but it's near enough impossible to answer them. At 18, I think I would have walked away from the knowledge. I wouldn't have been ready for it. At 18, I was going out partying. I didn't know what the heck I wanted to do. I thought it was going to be a footballer. That didn't work out. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Then I realized, okay, I'll go into sports. I'll be a PE teacher. So I think at 18, mate, I wouldn't have been ready. I wouldn't have had the knowledge and experience and intelligence that I have now. Remember, I've lived in 3 different countries. I've traveled the world, met a lot of people. I wouldn't have been ready for it at 18, mate. Somebody's asking, what God are you talking about? I believe there's only one God. I believe in the Holy Trinity. I believe Jesus, the Holy Spirit, and God is one entity. That's the God, not your demonic gods, all right, or the God of the weather or whatever it may be, the goddesses of victory, all of that stuff. I believe there's one ultimate God, the Creator. And I know people fight all day long about what's his name and this. I'm not getting involved in that. That's the way I see it. People hammer me for saying Jesus because there was no J back in whatever century. According to what, you? According to the history, where you're getting that from? So there's also, I speak from my heart. When I say Jesus Christ, I know who I mean. The guy who sacrificed himself for our sins. I believe Jesus is God. I believe he walked the earth as Jesus Christ. And nobody's changing my mind with that. So I'll do what I do. There's always going to be doubters. There's always going to be haters. There's always going to be people that go against what you say. That's part of life. I think that needs to happen. And for those people who disagree with what I do and don't appreciate what I do, they don't have to watch. As I always say, if I go in a restaurant, woo, and I don't like that food, woo, and I don't like that service, woo, and I think that the price is a little bit extreme, baby. Woo, woo, woo. Will I go back? No. Yet the people that attempt to criticize me, they're back in every day at the live stream. They're first to comment all the time. So it makes no sense. If you don't like it, you don't have to watch. This isn't like when you're at school and you have to watch a documentary in order to answer some questions in order to pass an exam. This is optional. To watch The Illusion, baby, is optional. To go on my website is optional. All right? It's all optional when it comes to me. I don't force anything down your throat. Provide a service. It's up to you what you do with it. Some people embrace it, love it, appreciate it, and grow. Other people come just for money. Other people are just intrigued by it. And then you get a few people in YouTube who want to call you out when they don't have a clue what I do on the website because they either can't afford to pay for it or they don't care enough, but they care enough to comment. They need to look in the mirror and have a word. Thoughts on fallen angels? I've told you about the fallen angels. 33.3% of the angels were cast out of heaven with Lucifer when he lost the war in heaven versus God. 66.6%. The Archangel Michael. They're here now. I think they live amongst us. People tell me, no, they don't. This is a 3-dimension. There's no demons here. I tell them God's omnipresent. He's everywhere. I said Satan got cast. Well, Lucifer got cast out of heaven, became Satan. He got cast out from heaven to earth. He's here. So, yeah, these angels, who are basically now demons because they went against God, are living amongst us. That's why the system is so horrific and is a beast system. And these angels, aka demons, hate mankind because it's God's greatest creation, and they hate God because God cast them out of heaven. That's how I see it all. And then there'll be other people going, well, can you prove 33.3% of the... I don't need to prove it. When it comes to that, no, I can't. Neither can anyone else. Speak from my heart. But then I can tell you, Tom Brady retired with 333 days left in the year. I predicted it 18 months before he did. He made $333 million in the NFL. He played 333 regular season games. He won his last Super Bowl in 2-7, which is 3 times 3 times 3. I'll give you that. You can look that up yourself. Deny it. People literally say stuff like this to me. But can you even prove that Brady exists? What? What are you on about? The type of shit that I get asked. Can you prove Brady even exists? That it's actually real that he has 7 Super Bowls? What are you on about, mate? What are you talking about, lad? So I go off what is shown to us, what's presented to us, to mankind, to the masses. I go off it, all right? Especially when it comes to history, I go off it. I show you what's been revealed to us, what we learned at school, and then I show you just how coded it is, and then I predict what's going to happen in the future at an outrageously high level. And I charge $10 for it. You can't even buy a pizza here for that. I told you yesterday I got mi guapa, which means pretty. I got her a, what's the cocktail called? With a coconut in it. Pina colada. I got myself a beer, $31. That's 3 months on my website for 2 drinks. Really? You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. And somebody said that to me with my site. They said, these people don't want to support you because they said, how can he be that good if he's only charging $10? And they're probably right. That's why when I was in Blackpool with my dad, they were selling burgers for £1, which is nothing now. And I refused it because I thought if it's £1, it can't be that good. It could have been the best burger ever, but I wouldn't do it because it was £1. I thought it was too cheap. I didn't want to invest even £1 in it because it seemed too cheap. It's weird, isn't it, how our brains operate? I'm guilty of it as well. God is dog backwards. I prefer source, creator, omnipresence. Yeah, they're all good. They're all good. Remember, dog is a man's best friend, just like God is. Never forget that. They say a dog is a man's best friend, but it's God who's a man's best friend. The devil is our biggest enemy. Jesus, number 9, scored the 3rd goal 3 minutes after the last at 34 minutes for Arsenal. 81st goal, 81, 9 square, 34, 9th fib. 9, yeah, square root of 9 is 3. Yeah, Jesus died and resurrected over 3 days, didn't he? Gabriel Jesus was born on 4/3, which is when Jesus was crucified. Gabriel Jesus tested positive for coronavirus on Christmas Day, which is supposedly when Jesus died. No, it's Nimrod's birthday, 1225. 35 times 35 is 1,225. That's why Messi won the World Cup at age 35, 7 days before the World Cup, 7 days before Christmas. And he scored 7 goals in 7 games at the World Cup because he works for the devil. Satan equals 35, Baphomet at 35. That's why he won it at 35, guys. Had to be at that age because of the code. There's so much evil and suffering in this realm. If God was benevolent, why would he make his children suffer? Suffering's part of life. This is God's realm. Satan's realm, sorry. All right? God has given permission to the devil to reign, to fulfill his word. In the next year or so, more people are going to find God than ever, in my opinion. The way that I did. So it's not as black and white in regards to God is omnipresent. He gives us free will. Greatest gift or curse people have is free will. You have free will. God's not a puppet who tells you exactly how to live. Otherwise, he would just create us all and we'd all be perfect, living this perfect existence. That's what he had with Adam and Eve until they bit the forbidden fruit, and that was the fall of mankind. So you have free will. All this stuff about blaming God. God doesn't exist because this happened to me. If God was so nice, where's it say in the Bible that God's nice? Where? All right, this is part of the journey. This is a spiritual journey. Life would not be fun if everything was perfect. There'd be no purpose to it. If everyone were perfect, where's the purpose? Where's the overcoming adversity? Where's the joy? If everything was perfect, you wouldn't feel it. You wouldn't experience it. You need negativity as much as you need positivity. You need them both. Look at a battery. It needs a positive and a negative or it doesn't work. So again, when you read my book, you'll see how it all works. I feel like the Holy Spirit's allowed me to write that book. I've not finished it yet. But this whole stuff about God, if he's such a perfect entity, why does he allow such evil? Read the Bible, you'll understand why he's handed over the kingdom to the beast to fulfill his word. Because as mankind, we're basically a set of jokers. What we've accepted and how we basically live our lives. It's so satanic. And we played along with it. We've allowed ourselves through losing the Holy Spirit, through losing the love of Jesus, through losing the Bibles, that we've lost God. And when you lose God, you're lost. You get lost in this beast system, like a spider web. It's like a spider web that people get stuck in. So, Adam, it's a joke. Managers without experience getting football jobs. Would you be a retail manager without experience? That's brilliant. No, you wouldn't. No. Pretty much all ex-footballers, a lot of them are top stars. They go into coaching, they get sacked, they got the next job, they get sacked, then they do really well, and then they go to another job and they struggle, and then they get sacked and get another job and do really well. It's just a joke. Think how many people must want to be professional football managers and coaches. It's always the same merry-go-round of coaches. They brought Hodgson back. They're bringing Allardyce back. These people are like nearly in the 80s, Hodgson. I think Allardyce is 68. Is there no young and up-and-coming managers? Just occasionally they'll throw out an Eddie Howe or something. Where are they? Why are you not seeing some 25-year-old coach who's never played at the highest level coming through and coaching at the highest level? Why not? Because it's bloodline, it's contacts, it's keeping that circle close. That's why Lampard can keep getting jobs when he can't coach. Just stands there doing that and watches his team get beat every game. Why does he keep getting jobs? And then Carragher saying, oh, well, he just needs time, Lampard. He just needs to make his own signings. La-di-bloody-da. Really? No. Guy can't coach. Look at the team he has. He has an amazing team on paper. It ain't anything to do with the coaches. That's why Sir Alex Ferguson, who couldn't coach for shit, never coached, won 13 Premier League titles. 13 connected to Judas, to Nimrod, to Satan. That's why the World Cup final was with 13 days left in the year. Messi's got 13 World Cup goals. That's why Kobe died at 41, the 13th prime, with his 13-year-old daughter. I could go on all day. Start seeing through the bullshit, guys. And don't just come at my site for winning picks. That's all you want. Just don't bother. Go to someone else who gives you one decent pick a week. Pay them $50. Do that. If you want to be part of this family, you want to see what's playing out, you want to get close to God, you want to get a range of information about an immense amount of subjects, support me. Simple as that. I give you these YouTube videos practically every day for free. You have no idea how hard it is to do this. I'm sweating to get this information out. Why? I'm not going to get any new members by the end of it. I do it because I'm passionate, man. But I've got to think about my health at times. So I'm going to go in a few minutes. Kenya calms me down. Give her a big old sloppy kiss, baby. Take her out for the finest lasagna in town. And not talk about any type of numbers, any code. Not worry about this NBA game later. Right? It's funny how the Warriors are playing the Lakers. They played the first game of the season on 10-18, Luke 10-18. How Satan got cast out of heaven. Warriors won the recent NBA Finals on 6-1-6. The alternate number of the Beast. They won it 4-2. That's how long the base wins for 42 months. Steph Curry, Steve Kerr, Klay Thompson became 4-2 in NBA Finals. Most people don't know that. And when they figure that out, they don't give a shit unless they profited from it. Tell me I'm wrong. So the people who really care about this knowledge, care about what I do, understand the sacrifice that I've given up for this. Much love to you all. Those who want to doubt my work, you can continue to do it. But you will eventually give in to this work, like practically everyone else who doubted me. You will eventually be supporting me. 3 stages of truth, Da Vinci said. Do you know what they are? The first one is you mock it. The second one is it makes you angry. The third one is you accept it. My word, the amount of people that mocked me, screamed at me, and now on my website says it all. So Da Vinci, if you even existed, I agree with you, mate, from personal experience. Adam, can I only pay through PayPal? I'm locked out of my PayPal and want to sign up to your site. No. And pay with your debit or credit card. Seems people have issues from different countries. I've set it up with Gabriel in a way where you can sign up with PayPal, debit card, credit card. Hopefully at one point I don't need PayPal. But you know, nothing's straightforward when it comes to transactions. When it comes to money, they make it hard, don't they? Because that is what the devil has over all of us. That monetary system is how he basically operates. Take away money and everyone could just live in comfort without having to work 9 to 5 and worry about paying the bills. The system collapses, doesn't it? It collapses. Hey, Joseph, much love, guys. Please support Joseph on his YouTube channel. If you like what I do, I say this all the time. If you like what I do, you'll like what he does. So check him out. Give him a go. If you don't like it, you don't like it. If you do, you'll be very grateful that I recommended him. Do you listen to YouTube channel Hugo Talks? Yes, I think he's very good. I think he's great, to be honest. I think he's far better than me when it comes to putting together a video. He puts together better videos than me. The information is good as well. So, yeah, I think he's good. 6 games and 6 losses for Frank, yeah, and Chelsea stayed on 66 wins against Arsenal, 317 days after Frank's birthday, the 66th prime. Chelsea have scored 2 goals in 6 games under Frank, 26. What were me and Chuck talking about in the live? Queen 26, born in 26, became the Queen on 2-6, coronated on a date rate on 2-6. Coronated at age 26. So there you go. How many members on your site? I haven't checked as of today, but hovering around 500. I think it should be close. It sounds silly. I think it should be closer to 5,000 for what I do. Hovering around 500. basically makes me enough money to what I was doing when I was teaching and coaching full time. So financially, it's not making a huge difference to my life, but it gives me more independence. Because if I went back to the school and I went back to coaching and working 10-hour days, this illusion character's gone. The live streams have gone, the website would go. So if I had a choice, it would be continue doing what I'm doing and not have to go back to that. But it's an option for me. But if something does happen to me, just like my Patreon got deleted for no reason, $3,000 stolen from me, I came back stronger. If my website goes to shit somehow, I'll come back stronger. That's how I've got to see it. Have that mindset, guys. It'll help you a lot. Think about adversity. Don't worry about it. Just go, okay, I'll deal with it. You don't necessarily want it all the time because it becomes exhausting, but when you do come across it, enjoy the journey. Lampard's rubbish manager is because his uncle Harry Redknapp, how he got into the game. Yeah, Harry Redknapp said about Frank Lampard when he was 18, Frank Lampard's going to go all the way to the top, I know. And they both smiled. That implied to me they know. That there's some sort of witchcraft, or they're aware of the code and they know their numbers sync up, or it's just Masonic brotherhoods, or what. It's a variety of things. Because they were saying at West Ham, when Lampard came through the youth team, they were saying there was at least 5 players better than Lampard in that academy team, at least 5. And they were talked about this one player in particular, saying this guy is one of the best players we've ever seen at youth level. He went on to play semi-pro, and then nothing happened with him. Lampard went on to Chelsea's all-time leading goal scorer, loads of goals for England, loads of caps for England. Now he's coaching for Chelsea, coached at Everton. He used to always score against Everton. Coached at Derby, the Rams. All right, Derby massively synced up to the Queen, hence why Wayne Rooney was the coach, who was England's all-time leading goal scorer with 53 the year Elizabeth was coronated. Kane's on 55 now. He did that against the Ukraine. Russia invaded the Ukraine the 55th day of the year. Called it all. Called all those. Got England win, Kane scores. I think I might have even got the score right. But again, if you're coming to my site wanting perfect picks for $10, then that's a case of delusion. If you think you can come to me for $10 and get perfection, you're going there to learn. You're going to learn more there than you've ever learned in your entire life. Mark my words. And at the end of the month, tell me I'm wrong. How much money are people paying for university to sit in a classroom to be fed a PowerPoint for the lecturer to leave after 20 minutes and say, there you go, I want it on my desk by next week? How much money are you paying for that? On average in the US, 30 grand. 30 grand. How much are you learning? Next to nothing. I'm telling you, on my site, in 1 month, go there for 1 month. You'll learn more there than you ever learned at university in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Lampard, Terry, Cole, and Drogba, the dream team. John Terry, 2 male names. Ashley Cole, 2 male names. All right. Fat Lampard, just a joke. Again, there's demons involved, guys. There's got to be some sort of witchcraft involved. Certain families. Now, like you said, Harry Redknapp is the uncle of Lampard. Harry Redknapp's son's Jamie Redknapp. Jamie Redknapp played for England in the Premier League. Lampard played for England, Premier League. Jamie Redknapp's now on Sky Sports. Harry Redknapp was on Sky Sports. You had Rio Ferdinand, Anton Ferdinand, their uncles, Les Ferdinand. Like the Neville brothers both play for Man United in England. The sister plays for England at netball. Schmeichel and his son both play for Denmark. I could go on all day. I've done all of this. Like Miley Cyrus, his father was famous. Then Miley Cyrus comes on the scene, super famous. More often than not, the parents were famous. You get a few of them that wasn't, of course. But they have contacts. Like Mason Mount and Declan Rice have been best friends since they were 8 years old. And now they both play for England together. I'm telling you, Declan Rice will go to Chelsea. Everyone's like, no, he'll go to Arsenal. He'll go to Chelsea. Just like Lampard left West Ham and went to Chelsea. Mason Mount, Mason Greenwood, Mason Holgate. Mason's founded the Premier League. Anyway, my head's pounding. I hope Eminem could repent. We all can. Every single person walking this earth can repent. That's the beauty of it. $5 a month? No, it isn't, because you get taxed and people leave and people don't pay. Do you know how many people have signed up to my website and not paid, and I have to contact them. So no, it's not as straightforward as that, Stephen. It's not how it works. If you own a website, if you work online, you see how it works. It's like with Patreon. When I had Patreon, they charged me 25% tax. Oh, you got that amount of members, you make that? No, I've got taxed 25%. So why are you worried about how much money I make, Stephen? What do you make? And why do you give a shit what I make? If I made 50 grand, what's it to do with you? Do I work out? Yeah. 4 days a week. I love to work out. I go to the gym. I swim. I play football. I run. Yeah, I like to work out. I'm in good shape. I've always loved to work out. Yeah, all-time leading goal scorer and he's a midfielder. Like, really? Really? It's just a joke, guys. And it was Lampard's goal that basically brought in VAR. Anytime they go back to, like, well, that Lampard against Germany, it blatantly crossed the line. Everyone could see it. Then why? If it's so blatant like that, why can't the linesman literally at the side have a TV in front of him and say, listen, yeah, it was over? Occasionally use that technology. Have a guy look at the blimmin' screen. Yeah, it's blatantly over the line. Goal, done. Oh, well, if that would have gone in, that could have really changed everything. It could have. It might not have. It might have gone in and they could have lost by 9 goals. You don't know. But the fact is, Lampard was involved in that. And he always gets asked about it. Which shows me, again, if you believe Lampard's that good to ping a 30-yard strike against Neuer, the best keeper in the world at the time, in off the crossbar, over the line, you think that you got told to do that, then you're off your face. Adam, how do you stay positive calling out deception? Because God wins. I have complete faith in God and he wins and I'm on his team. I have balance in my life now. I have a beautiful girlfriend. I go to the gym. I don't gamble. So I've got that extra energy. I used to give a lot of energy to gambling. That's why you've got to be careful if you're going to do it. Very careful. It's toxic. I'm unbelievable at coding and won a lot of money and it was still toxic. So how do I stay positive? It's just who I am. It's in my nature. My halftime talks when I was a coach, like coaching teams, if I were 3-0 down, I'd be positive. I wasn't going to go hairdryer treatment nonsense. But all right, guys, we're much better than this. Let's go out there. It's a new half. I would always say it's a new half. It's 0-0. Go out there, do your best. If you get back in the game, great. And if not, just make sure you come off knowing that you've done your best. This, that, and the other. I'd make a few tweaks. More often than not, my team would come back and win. Been a lot easier to scream at them. We've worked so hard this week. You're wasting my time. Do you know how long I took on that session? You're half-assing it. That's not who I am. But I'd always give constructive feedback. I wouldn't be super nice to them. Say, listen, you've got to step it up a bit here. You're a lot better than that. You got to release the ball quicker, all right? You all right, Max? Can you release it quicker? Yes, coach. Yes, coach. All right, mate. Let's do it then. I'd just do that. I'd have a go in a nice way, but not in a way where I was like babying them. Adam, can you check my early comment on Soul Trap? Where is it? I've got to go soon. Where is it? Soul Trap. Is it here? Sometimes YouTube delete comments. All right, found it. What do you think of Soul Trap? It makes more sense that we are in some sort of prison and that we get tricked into reincarnating here to harvest that energy, or loosh, as they call it by their archons. I know what you mean by loosh and the energy and the reincarnation element. It's very possible. It's very possible. I don't know enough about it, reincarnation, and how it works, and if you judged off karma. I don't know enough. I do think man's being used. I think that the devil needs our energy. I think the demons need our energy. I think that's undeniable. We feed the system. That's what the saying is. We feed the system. And what's the system feeding off? Energy. Money is currency, which is energy, which feeds the system, which keeps the system operating. Yeah, it wasn't the only reason. Of course, it goes all the way back to Jeff Hurst in 66. Did it cross the line or not? But more often than not, when they talk about VAR, people go back to Lampard against Germany. Have you noticed it was England against Germany with Lampard, and it was also England against Germany when it happened with Jeff Hurst? In off the bar, did it cross the line or not? Really? England and Germany? Come on, guys. It's time to make these connections. And you can do it yourself, guys. We're all very powerful. We're all very intelligent beings that have been dumbed down and indoctrinated by the system. We are beyond powerful, incredibly intelligent beings. We were made in the image of God, guys. Give yourself more credit. Don't let the system defeat you. Don't let it beat you. All right? God will defeat the devil, but don't let the devil bring you down. He has the power to do that, and he has the ability to do that. It's been given that power by God. You have your free will to decide whether you're going to allow it to happen or not. So again, somebody like me, I can't be there for everybody. I can't support everybody. I can't be perfect with everything. I can't say everything you want me to say. I can't answer all your questions the way you want me to answer them. But I can speak from the heart and tell you that God wins, baby. That God wins. What up, Johnny G? How you doing, baby? Right. I've got to go. My eyes are sore. I need to jump in the shower. I need to call Kenya. So again, guys, if you want to support me on the website. If you don't, then I guess just keep watching my stuff. And I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you learn, and I hope it inspires you, and I hope you inspire other people with the information that I'm sharing. Rooney hit 53 goals in 2016. When he got his 53rd goal, Harry Kane was the first player to celebrate with him, and Kane then broke his record. Rooney said back then, Kane will be the guy that breaks his record, because it seems like he knew. All right. Take care. Much love. And God bless you all, okay? Bye.